Guys, our friends are back. The Game Time app is back, and y'all know how much we love the Game Time app at DCTV because the Game Time app gives you an opportunity to get last-minute tickets to anything you want, whether it's basketball, football, mixed martial arts, comedy shows. The Game Time app has you. And how about this? Your boy DC is going to help you get $20 off your first purchase by using my promo code DCTV. You know, the last time I used the Game Time app, the boy Luis wanted to go to a UFC fight. And you know how that dude don't be inviting his girlfriend. He needed an extra ticket. So the boy DC got him. I went to the Game Time app, punched that promo code DCTV, saved $20 off, and then save Luis's relationship. So guys, go to the Game Time app right now, download it, use my promo code DCTV, and save $20 off of your first purchase. Game Time. Welcome back, my friends. And Luis, your boy loves you. I always got you, baby. Let's get to the video. All right, guys. So earlier in the week, I had a response to Jones, and I did the whole video, me and Jones thing, everything. But now they after me again. Your boy can't catch a break out here, man. So when I was discussing the Sphere the other day, I said I didn't really want to see Nate Diaz headline the card. I thought, maybe I'm wrong, I was pretty respectful in my assessment of where he is and why I didn't want that. Honestly, what I said really wasn't an indictment on who he is. I just said there are more fighters deserving, let me get the deal right quick, deserving of being in the main event. You know, Luis be sending me everything, so Luis be hooking the boy up. Anyhow, it said, the Mac Life, thank you guys. Oscar, you do a great job. All right, I said, will I watch Nate on the Sphere pay-per-view card? Absolutely. But to be the headliner with all these great fighters that are deserving of that spot, I don't think so. I don't need to see that. I need to see those other guys fighting. Nate then says, this bitch is not a fighter. Complete opposite. Good talk, DC. First off, I have no problem with Nate Diaz. I have no issue with him. I don't really know Nate. I've always respected Nate for what he did inside the octagon, so and so. I'm a lot of things, guys. But one thing I'm not is nobody bitch. I'm not a bitch. So my question is this. When did it become okay for men to start calling each other out their name like that? When did that become okay? You know, I don't disrespect nobody in my assessments of them. I try my best to be as fair as I can. I don't quite understand, as I got to slide to the right, why people think it's okay to attack you in that way, especially calling you outside your name like that. That's not cool, man. You don't get to just talk to people any way you want, but also just being in a disrespectful manner. It's not cool. You know, when I was talking about Jones the other day, I was laughing, I was joking, but I'm going to tell you one thing about Jones and me and the way that I'm perceived in the world today. Jones talked this shit when I was fighting. Jones talks his shit today. That's cool. I respect that because we had the opportunity to go into the octagon and settle our stuff. That's why, though, right? That's why, though, Jones and I had interactions outside of the octagon on so many occasions because I was still fighting. But it's very odd to me that in my retirement, I have more beefs and more people coming at me than even when I was active, when I could do something about all the disrespect. Because right now, I'll be honest with y'all, I'm measured. I have to be very measured because of the world that I live in today. But the boy Jones used to get at me. He would get at me in fighting situations. He would talk his trash. So that's why we fought at the Palms, had an altercation. That's why we had altercations at the club that we were in before. That's why we had altercations at press conferences. At any interaction between him and I was an altercation because he was talking his stuff then, I was talking my stuff then. So then we would come together and we would kind of try to fight each other, because that's what happens when you start calling men outside their name like that. So I knew that when I said something about that man, there was a possibility that there would be a reaction. I don't have the ability to have those reactions right now. So I can't. It seems reckless that so many can be so disrespectful in the approach. I don't get that. I really don't get that. But I'm nobody's bitch. And to say I'm not a fighter is just, I don't get it, man. I don't get it, because, again, I feel like I was actually pretty fair to this dude. Because when you really think about it, to say I'm not a fighter, when you really think about it, Nate Diaz was fun. Nate Diaz got to a championship opportunity. But if I'm not a fighter, what does that make him? What does that make him if I did what I did and if he did what he did? What'd that make him? You know, one time I was talking to Habib, and it was when Nate was coming at Habib, and Habib said something to the effect of, this man has lost 12 or 13 fights in his career. He's like, Daniel, I can't respond to this guy. I can't take this guy serious, because who loses to that many people? How can you call me not a fighter when you have had those instances? What did I do? I fought the best. I fought the best in the world constantly. So to say I'm not a fighter because I have an opinion on whether or not I want to see him headline the Sphere is going to be one of the greatest pay-per-view experiences that we've had in the UFC. Nate Diaz on Mexican Independence Day would fit the card beautifully. A main event would have to be against the Conor McGregor, maybe. Hey, maybe George Masvidal. I don't want to fight Nate Diaz, but George Masvidal does. Why is he attacking me when George Masvidal at his gym? He in Stockton. That's where the energy should be directed. That dude wants to fight you, not me. I'm over here making YouTube videos about what I think will be a great card, while still actually saying I would appreciate seeing you on the card. When in reality, when you look at what you've done recently, I don't know if many people that may not possess your star power even get an opportunity to be on that card. I don't even know if they get a chance, but because of your star quality, because of your popularity, if you were back in the UFC, you would get that opportunity. I'm saying I would check in and tap into it. I don't see how that is disrespectful. But the reality is, the one thing we will not do is compare myself to Nate Diaz, because it's different levels. Much different. I'm a champion. 2 weight classes. I lost 3 times in my career. 4, if you count the fight that was called a no contest. 4 times, 2 guys. We are on much different wavelengths. We are on much different planets. We're not in the same stratosphere in terms of fighters. We're not. And it's time for me to stop allowing people to attack or come at me in these ways when I'm doing my job. But can I still get into the stuff that I was doing back in the day? No, I can't be fighting in clubs. I don't go to clubs. I can't be approaching people. I don't do that. But I'm not a bitch. I'm not going to disrespect nobody. And I'm not going to sit up here and just get disrespected by these dudes. Because that's not right. It's not right. And not even just to me, to a man. You don't call a man out his name. You don't do that. At least not where I'm from. And to think of the way that these guys are perceived, right? The big crowd and the gangster. And let me tell you something. In the hood, right? In those places that these guys seem to frequent or come off as if they really are there a lot, you don't do that. You don't call no other man like you don't call no other man outside of his name like that. I just don't understand when that became okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I said in the beginning, I don't have a problem with Nate Diaz. I don't. He clearly has a problem with me. Gilroy's an hour and a half away from Stockton. I live here. I'm not trying to fight. I'm not going to be up there fighting with this man in the streets. But we can always just have a conversation. If you have a problem with something I said, but to call me out my name like that and to say the boy ain't did what the boy did, I mean, Louise going to pull up a whole bunch of videos and run a highlight reel of what I did in my career. And in those pictures, going to be a lot of belts and a lot of championships. I fought the best. I very rarely had opportunities to fight guys that weren't on my level. I can only imagine what my record would be if I did. If I wasn't fighting Bigfoot Silva in my 8th fight or Josh Barnett in my 9th fight. Think about that. 9 fights into my career, less than 3 years after starting, I'm fighting Josh Barnett. So to wrap it up, Nate, here's the deal. I ain't got a problem with you. When I see you, hey, I'm going to tip my hat off to you. If you want to say something to me, come up to me. Tell me. Tell me what the issue is. We can discuss it. Like men. I don't really play all that like bitch and hoes and all that other stuff. I don't really play that, man. So lay off that. All right? Lay off that, I'm going to lay off you. But come on, man. We know better than that. Where we from, right? Because I know where I'm from. I think I know where you from. So where we from, we know not to be talking to each other like that. All right? All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.